Hi, I'm Colin, and this is Sci-Fi Deep Dive. So today we're going to discuss a world that has appeared more recently in Star Wars, but has been around since the very beginning. And that is Kessel. So we'll discuss where this planet is, the history of it, and kind of where it's cropped up in Star Wars. So Kessel is a world in the Outer Rim, nestled in the Acades Maelstrom. This maelstrom is a treacherous nebula that makes it very hard for ships to get to and from Kessel without following very specific routes. So Kessel is most known as a mining world, with its northern hemisphere being mostly dominated by mines. However, its southern hemisphere is lush and full of life, populated by various nature sanctuaries. But most of Kessel's significance comes from the northern half, with the mining operations. Two major materials were mined from Kessel: spice and coaxium. Spice is a very useful mineral. It can be mined into a lot of things, from medicine to hard drugs. However, it became most known for its more nefarious uses in illegal drug trades. Coaxium, on the other hand, is hyperfuel, which is basically hyperdrive fuel. Each of these minerals brought different factions to Kessel. Notably, from the very early days was the Pyke Syndicate, who pretty much had domain over Kessel for the duration of the Clone Wars and even into the reign of the Empire. They ran some harsh spice mines, mining spice to be refined into drugs. But the Pyke Syndicate wasn't the only major faction there. There was another notable faction, and that is the Galactic Empire. The Galactic Empire was mostly there for the coaxium, seeing that it worked well in their Star Destroyers. However, that doesn't mean the Empire didn't play a part in the spice mining and supplying something very important for the spice mining. You see, most of the people working in the spice mines of Kessel were slaves. Mostly people either in debt to the Pyke Syndicate or captured by the Empire. As such, it became full of everything from scum that hadn't paid back the Pyke Syndicate to rebels who had been captured during raids. This made it ripe for rebellion. The particularly harsh conditions in the mine didn't do anything to calm down the slave rebellions. Generally, they were unsuccessful, but a few of them ended up gaining control of the mining facilities for short periods of time. Now, we've seen Kessel a lot recently. It popped up in last week's episode of the Clone Wars, and a few years back in Solo it played a pretty significant role. But it actually dates back to the very early days of Star Wars. In fact, it is mentioned in A New Hope. In the opening scene of A New Hope, where the Tantive 5 is being pursued by the Devastator, C-3PO remarks about how he's afraid of being sent to the spice mines of Kessel. On top of that, Han Solo also mentions being one of the fastest ships to make the Kessel Run. The Kessel Run, by the way, is the route to and from Kessel through the Maelstrom. So while Kessel doesn't really get the limelight a lot, it's been around for a lot of Star Wars' history. And I think it's encouraging to see it in more and more things and seeing it getting its place on the big screen. It's a world that's talked about a lot, but until recently very rarely shown. But if you enjoyed what you saw here today, or just want more sci-fi discussions, head down below at the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified when I upload new videos. Also, don't forget to leave a like and a comment. Tell me what you think of Kessel being more prevalent in Star Wars, being shown more. Do you think it was better kind of being something that the characters just discussed, or do you like actually seeing it on the screen? So for Sci-Fi Deep Dive, I'm Colin, and I will see you next time.